What's up, everybody? How's it going? Austin Prechtel, Prechtel Elite Performance, coming at you live. It's Monday. Hope you guys are having a great freaking start to your week. And today, I just wanted to go live, and I wanted to talk about, and I did a post about this the other day, not the other day, I did today. I did a post about it today. Just the concept of how your fitness journey and where you're at right now so far. Think of yourself as being a ship. Think of yourself as being a ship. And why do I say that? Well, right now, almost the end of January, coming up on February, and 84 plus percent of people who started a New Year's resolution will fail, have failed, have quit already. And if you're somebody that has quit already, I think that it's important to, recognize or think about it in this way in terms of, did you fail because of, you yourself or whatever it may have been being the one that failed, or was it that the way that you were going about it in the first place, your plan in the first place, your expectations in the first place, was that doomed from the start? Was that, set up to fail from the start? Because, there's a reason why, so many New Year's resolutions fail. And a lot of it is built on the fact that a lot of times people have really unrealistic expectations going into their fitness journey, their weight loss journey, whatever your resolution was, and then you fail. You don't reach that goal because it was not realistic from the get-go. And so I like to kind of think about, in terms of kind of an analogy or kind of a way to think about it this way is you guys are a ship, you're a boat, whatever you want to, you're floating on the water, whatever you want to call it. And so, and you're getting the wind knocked out of your sails. And so, I'm going to break down why, in terms of this analogy, why you probably have failed so far and why it's probably not your fault and why it's, the plan in the first place was broken to begin with, kind of. And so, if any of this kind of relates to you or any of this kind of hits home or you're like, oh man, that's me, listen to this because it's important. And so, at the beginning, a lot of the reason why a lot of people fail is because one, they're focusing on relying on motivation. They're relying on motivation to carry them throughout their goals. They think that something is wrong with them if they aren't on the ball 24/7. Hell yeah, I'm super excited. I'm doing this thing. And then what happens is, with any normal human being, you hit a rough patch. Life happens. Something doesn't go your way, and then you're not feeling motivated, and you're in this success failure mindset, and you're thinking, well, shit, it's gone. My motivation is gone. I failed. What's wrong with me? I may as well quit. And that's where a lot of people run into issues with that, is because you're focusing on relying on that motivation rather than forming a habit or discipline. Because I'm here to tell you, and I've talked about this in the past, I'm not motivated every day. Most people, 99% of the people who do what I do and do, any athlete or long-term lifter or strength training coach or whatever it may be, it's not that I'm motivated every freaking day of my life. It's that even when I'm not motivated, I still have that discipline and those habits built and instilled into me to keep me going. So a lot of times people are thinking something's wrong with them or they're relying on that motivation, when in reality you don't need motivation. You need discipline. You need to form and work on that discipline. So that's one thing. The other thing too, unrealistic expectations. So many people have super unrealistic expectations from the get-go. So you're setting yourself up for failure because you have this extremely lofty goal. I'm not saying you shouldn't have big goals. I'm just saying you should be have realistic big goals. And so, when it comes to that, a lot of times people are conditioned to think so and so lost 10 pounds in 10 days. I want to lose 10 pounds in 10 days. And so they're like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 10 days. And they go and try and do it. And then they don't, because that's not realistic. That's not sustainable. That's not something that people, can just do sustainably, and then when it doesn't happen for them because it's unrealistic, they feel like a failure. They feel like they're not doing a good job. They feel like they put in all this work and they're expecting these extremely, giant results when that's not how it works. From the get-go, that's not how it works. Sustainable weight loss, I'm going to keep saying it until everybody believes me, is anywhere from half a pound to 2 pounds of weight loss per week. That is sustainable weight loss. So if you want to lose 10 pounds the right way and keep it off, and it not be just a bunch of water weight or a bunch of glycogen that you're losing from keto, or not a bunch of muscle being lost along with some of the fat, you're gonna need to lose weight in a sustainable manner, and it's gonna take longer than you want it to. It's going to, but you're gonna be happy that you did it that way. Because one, you're gonna be able to keep it off, and you're gonna be able to keep losing that weight for the long haul, and you're also not gonna hate your life and then also gain it all back in the long run. Because if you guys don't know this, 80 to 90% of people who go on diets gain it all fucking back. They gain it all back at some point. You know why? Because they didn't learn how to lose the weight in the first place. They didn't learn how to sustainably keep it off, and they didn't build those good habits in a lot of cases. And so, because they didn't learn how to lose it and how to keep it off, guess what? You're gonna gain it all back whenever you stop doing whatever you were doing unsustainably. So that's the other thing. And so you're doing it the right way and having these realistic expectations from the get-go is going to only help you succeed later on whenever things are stressful, and whenever you're having if you have realistic expectations from the get-go, you're going to be way more likely to succeed, because you're not going to get in your head about things. Because a lot of times, most of the time, people quit it's because they mentally can't do it. It's not because they can't physically do it. The body will do just about anything the mind wills it to do. And if your head's not in it, and if your mindset's not in the right place, and you've got this success failure, all in, all out mentality, or you're you have unrealistic expectations in terms of how much weight you should be losing by a certain point in time, you're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna get in your head. A lot of people will look at a scale and they let the scale dictate their emotions for the day or how they're going to feel for that day. They tie their worth to the scale because they feel like it is the end all be all reasoning, or the judge of whether or not they did a good job or not, when most of the time those random fluctuations in weight, or those, that half a pound, they feel isn't worth it, even though that's amazing progress for a lot of people. Some people would kill to lose half a pound in a week, because anywhere from half a pound to 2 pounds is sustainable. So instead of focusing on trying to lose 10 pounds in 10 days, set the expectation that this might take me anywhere from 5 weeks to 20 weeks or something like that. Honestly, and a lot of it has to do with where you're at the beginning of your weight loss journey. If you're somebody who is quite a bit overweight, extremely overweight or whatever, you're probably going to lose a lot more weight than somebody a lot faster at the beginning than somebody who is at 150 pounds and wants to lose 10 pounds, or somebody who's 130 pounds and wants to lose 10 pounds. The proportions in terms of how much weight your body has extra on it is going to play a role in that too. So a lot of times when people are like, oh my gosh, so and so lost, not to take anything away from the person that lost 20 pounds in 30 days, but for somebody who is 150 and wants to lose 20 pounds in 30 days, I'm just here to tell you, that shit isn't going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen, because that's not healthy for you. And so that's kind of where it comes down to. And so for those of you who are, coming back to that whole ship analogy, if your ship's doomed from the start, a lot of it comes down to unrealistic expectations, potentially taking shortcuts and trying to get there faster than you probably should be, aka crash dieting, or going a burnout route, or starving yourself. You're only going to shortcut yourself. And if you're if you're on a boat and you're taking a shortcut, who knows if that shortcut's going to be safe or not? Maybe you're going to crash into a reef. Maybe you're going to get into a weird storm and it's going to fuck everything up, and you're going to have a screwed up boat afterwards. Think of it that way. And like a lot of times too, like the whole ship analogy, like is the map that you're using going to get you there safely? Is it going to get you there sustainably? Do you have a map in the first place? Or are you right here and you're at point A and you're like, well, I want to get here. And so I'm just going to like guess how to get there. And then you're doing all this shit when you could just go from point A to point B directly if you have a map, if you have a plan in place. Like you got to take that into consideration too, because that a lot of times is why people fail too. Is like they don't know what they're doing. They don't have an idea of how to get from where they're at to where they want to be. They're just like I'm gonna do this thing, and then they start trying to do it, and then it's hard, and then they don't see the results because they're not doing the right stuff. You got to make sure that what you're doing is actually going to get you to your goals, effectively. So yeah, and so that's kind of like where I'm coming from with this. And then the other thing too is like having like a support system. When you started your fitness journey, like did you have a good support system, or was it just you? Do you have a bad support system? Do you have a crew that is like basically like a mutiny to your mission? Like are they like are every time you're trying to like sail ahead in the right direction, you got people who are like trying to like screw you up or like or trying to hold you back or like making you feel bad about going towards your goals. Like you got to think about that too. Like do you have the right crew? Do you have a positive environment or a positive support system that's going to be conducive to you reaching your goals? Because that's going to help a lot too. It's going to help you stay motivated. That's an extra layer of accountability. And again, I even just said it right now too, like helping you stay motivated, helping you stay disciplined, helping you realize that like not everybody else is, feeling all hunky dory all the time. Like that's real freaking life. Like everybody has shitty days. Everybody has really good days. Everybody has days in the middle. And, recognizing that you still are capable of, putting in the work even on those shitty days, that can go a long way too towards making your goals, more like realistically attainable. So, that's pretty much all I had. That's why like I think it's really important to question not and to not feel like you failed. Like I don't think that anybody, as long as you don't ever like truly give up, you don't ever fail. And if I question you guys or I challenge you guys to think about these things like if you have given up on your goals already or if you feel like giving up right now, like ask yourself like am I doing what I actually need to be doing to get to my goals? Like, is my plan or my ship or my course of action that I'm taking right now, is it going to be something that I can do sustainably? Is it going to be something that I can make a lifestyle out of? Is it something that I can do for the long term? Because if it's not, you're probably, setting yourself up for failure. And in a lot of ways, that's why a lot of people's like New Year's resolutions don't happen is because they're doomed from the start because they have a crappy or like not very not very good chance of succeeding with the plan that they've got going on right now. And I'm not saying like you need a coach to do that. I'm not saying that you need anything for that. You can do it on your own. It's just going to be a lot more work, and it's going to be one of those things that you have to think about these things, and you can't just do it all willy-nilly, because otherwise you're probably going to get some all willy-nilly kind of results, and kind of direction of things. So that's my live for today. That is, live today for Monday. I hope that this was valuable for you guys. I hope that this was helpful in thinking about, taking on your New Year's resolution going forward. I encourage you guys, like, if you've already like gave up or if you feel like you failed at your goals already, like don't tie so much value to a single day of the year that's not really all that different than any other day of the year. Like don't like it's okay if you didn't succeed in your New Year's resolution. Like set a new New Year's resolution for January 25th or January 26th. Like screw the new year. Like that doesn't mean anything. Like today is a new day. Tomorrow is a new day. Like 5 minutes from now is a new 5 minutes from this current moment. Like fucking like don't tie so much of your success to a single freaking day that's relatively meaningless and arbitrary. Like tomorrow's a new day. Like pick up where you left off. Like reevaluate what your goals are and start like planning ahead and thinking about these things and stop going for like I want it now and start focusing on like I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna do it in a sustainable way so I can actually stick to it. So that's my live for today. Hope you guys got value. If you did, let me know. Let me know your number one takeaway in the comments. If you're watching this later time, hashtag replay. If you're watching this right now, throw some emojis in the chat so that way I know that you guys saw this, that you got value from it. If you know somebody that has given up on their New Year's resolution, or you know somebody who's having a hard time and is thinking about quitting, like send them this video or share this video with them, tag them in the chat, like let them know, like it's probably not them. It's probably nothing wrong with their boat or their or whatever their ship or however you want to like phrase it. They just might not be on a sustainable course. They just might not. The plan might just be messed up from the get go. So they just need a different plan going forward. So that's my live. I see you, Pam. Thank you for tuning in. So I see you, Kelly. I see you. I appreciate you guys. I hope that you have a great rest of your week. I hope you have an amazing freaking Monday. Let's kick ass this week, and I'm going to talk to you all later.